What is sanctity of life? The sanctity of life is the theological and philosophical understanding that all human life has an inherent dignity, worth, and sacredness that set it apart from all other being within the world. This perspective does assert that human life is sacred in the sense of being divine, but its very essence is distinct within the biological world and of incalculable worth, protection throughout the course of its entire existence. The sanctity of life as a doctrine has both religious and philosophical roots and is applied to a wide range of bioethical issues such as abortion, euthanasia, genetic engineering, cadaver organ transplant, suicide, and capital punishment. All human life is sacred. Agree or disagree? Psalm 139. All human life is precious. Life is a gift from God for us to respect and protect through all its stages, from conception to natural death. Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 to 27 and John chapter 3 verse 16 tells us, every person is created by God in His image and loved by Him. Each person's life has inherent worth and dignity. The Catholic Church proclaims that human life is sacred and the dignity of human person is the foundation of moral vision for society. The fact that our life belongs to Almighty God, it is enough to say that life is sacred. God created mankind different from the living. God has given us extraordinary gifts. These are rationality, emotions, soul, and spirit. All these gifts serves our reason to fulfill our purpose, and that is to reflect His glory. By evidence, the incarnation of God's own Son fully affirms the sacredness of human life. Jesus took upon Himself the form of a servant. He was born in the likeness of men. Human life embodies sacredness, both the living and the unborn. And by faith, we should value life given to us. We are sacred. Thus, we should protect our life, we should refrain from doing evil things in this world, and we must profess our faith and live by God's love and mercy, because that is our purpose, and that is why we live. Every human being, regardless of ethnicity, age, gender, physical abilities, mental competence, or any other condition of life, has been created in His image and likeness. Because human life is sacred, we strive to be intentional agents of God's love and compassion for those who find themselves in difficult, unwanted circumstances, as well as those who suffer pain as a result of illness, injury, injustice, and oppression. Human dignity. Dignity is one of the most important things to human spirit. It means being valued and respected for what you are, what you believe in, and how you live your life. Treating people with dignity means treating them the way we'd like to be treated ourselves. Every human has the right to lead a dignified life and fulfill his or her potential. Young, old, rich, poor, all over the world, we shall all share the right to be treated with dignity. Human dignity does not depend on our ability or circumstances. It flows from our creation in the image of God. We must treat people as a bearer of God's image, not as objects for our gratification. Our lives are not our own. They belong to God. How do we violate human dignity? Violation and human dignity are brought about concrete practices and conditions, some commonly known as knowledge, such as torture, rape, murder, capital punishment, abortion, and euthanasia. Torture. Torture is morally unjustified because it dehumanizes people by treating them as pawns to be manipulated through their pain. Such perspective condemns torture as an unacceptable practice, arguing torture and related abuse should be absolutely banned because they are unethical to the entire concept of human rights. Rape. Rape is a detestable evil action. Rape is the forcible violation of the sexual intimacy of another person. It does injury to justice and charity. Rape deeply wounds the respect, freedom, and the physical and moral integrity to which a person has a right. It causes great damage that can mark a victim's life forever. It is always intrinsically an evil act. Murder. A violation to God's law is a violation to human life. The sacredness we embody has its purpose, and it's our duty to value and give respect for the gift God has given. Human life is violated if we took what is not ours. In our belief as Christian, by the evidence of the sixth commandment, which is, "You shall not kill," it is not rightful and unacceptable to kill. Each life is beyond valuable than anything else, and to end it in a purpose of our wants, then it's immoral. Murder is a grave sin and should not be tolerated. Each life is sacred, and we should value that. Capital punishment. Capital punishment disregards the value of life, and it deprives people the chance to change and rehabilitate themselves. Capital punishment abuses moral rights. Sometimes there are people who are wrongfully accused of the crimes they did not do. With great power, capital punishment could be a tool for personal grudge and not justice. Also, there are people who are wrongfully accused of crimes they did not do. We seek for justice and not killing. Abortion. The Catholic Church opposes all forms of abortion procedure whose direct purpose is to destroy a zygote, blastocyst, embryo, or fetus, since it holds that human life must be respected and protected absolutely from the moment of conception. From the first moment of his existence, a human being must be recognized as having the rights of a person, among which is the inviolable right of every innocent being's life. Abortion is a form of killing, therefore it is an evil act. Euthanasia. Human beings are made in the image and likeness of God and are therefore of intrinsic worth or value beyond all prices. Euthanasia would make moral sense only if it were possible to say, morally, that is, dignity had vanished. To commit euthanasia is to act with a specific intention that somebody should be nobody. This is the fundamental error of all immorality in human relations. To commit euthanasia is to fail to see the intrinsic worth or dignity of the person. The dignity of the sick cannot be erased by illness and suffering. Such procedures are not private decisions. They affect the whole society. Death with dignity in the end is the realization that human beings are also spiritual beings. We have to promote the way of caring for the dying in which mercy is extended to the patients without inducing death. Life is beautiful. Life is probably the best gift from God. It teaches us so many things. Life is full of ups and downs, but we must never forget that whatever happens, it happens for good only. Life can taught us so many lessons, and probably this will be the best teacher ever. We make mistakes, but we learn from them. Life also gifted us so many things. It gives us friends, family, traditions, culture, and so many festivals. There are certain people who think of dying every single moment, but they are forgetting this fact that we just have one single life, and we should thus enjoy it to the fullest. Humans were made as part of God's creation and God's image. Therefore, human life should be valued and considered as sacred and God-given. We are the temple of God. We are sacred. Stop the killing and enjoy life.